Vi tvrdite
You claim,
za taj zaista stravičan
in
zločin o čemu
respect
zna
of
cijela
this truly
Jugoslavia,
horrible
da je on
crime
rezultat svađe
that all of
među
Yugoslavia
Srbima.
is aware of, that it is a result of a quarrel amongst Serbs.
I don't understand the question.
Your evidence was that, as you understood it, there was a quarrel between Serbs which led to this incident in which 6 people were killed. Is that right?
What I said were rumors that I heard from citizens in Peja.
A da li znate da je
And do you know
to bio teroristički
that this
napad
was a terrorist attack
na kafe u kome je bila omladina
against a cafe in which
i
there
da
were
su sa
young
vrata
people,
grupa
and
terorista
that
izrešetala ceo
from
kafe
the a group of 6 young men there. Do you know about that, apart from the rumors that you heard of?
No, I don't know.
A da li znate da su ti
And do
mladići
you
koji su
know that
ostali na
these
podu
young
izrešetani kad je
men
izrešetan
who
ceo
remained
kafe
on
bili
the floor
od
dead
13 do 22 godine?
when the whole cafe
Mr.
was
Milosevic.
bullet riddled? They were between the ages of 13 and 22.
Mr. Milosevic, we'll wait for the interpretation to finish. The witness says he doesn't know about it, so there's no point asking him further.
Ja postavljam, gospodine May,
Mr.
pitanje,
May, I'm putting
jer
the
je to
question
bio jedan od
because
najprljavijih
that was
terorističkih
one
napada
of
na
the
decu,
dirtiest
a
terrorist
svedok je
attacks
ovdje
against
izjavio
children.
da je to
And the
zato što
witness
se
said
Srbi
that
međusobno
this is
posvađali
due
u
to the
kafiću.
fact that the Serbs quarreled among
I cela
themselves in the cafe.
We heard his explanation. We've heard his evidence. We'll have to consider it in due course. You can put your evidence in front of us. But there's no point asking him questions when he says he doesn't know. Now, can we go on to another topic?
Dobro, a da li zna svedok,
All right, does
ako
the
dozvolite
witness
da
know
postavim
then,
pitanje,
if I may ask him this by your leave,
da postoji izveštaj
that
i
there is
kosovske
a report
verifikacione
of the
misije o
Kosovo
tom terorističkom
verification
napadu?
mission about this terrorist attack?
Verifikus, do me thonë personeli ndërkombëtar. Vetëm na kanë sugjeruar që t'jemi
The personnel of the mission advised us to be more cautious and careful, and this was the reason why they came to fetch us from our homes to work and take us back to our homes at the end of work.
What you were asked was, do you know about a report by the verification mission about this attack?
Jo nuk kam gjeni për ndonjë raport të tillë.
No, I have no knowledge of such a report.
Gospodo, svedok ne zna ništa o napadima NATO,
the witness
ni o
knows
bombardovanju
nothing
Peći,
about NATO
ni o
attacks,
napadima
or
UČK,
attacks in Peć,
ni o
or attacks
terorističkom
by
napadu s kojim
the
je počeo,
KLA, or the terrorist
a o kome
attack
postoji izveštaj verifikacione misije.
occurred and
Juče smo čuli da je
about
vojska
which there
samu
is
sebe granatirala,
a
a u
report of the
optužnici stoji da je
KVM.
Jugoslavija samu
Yesterday
sebe
we
napala.
heard
Ja mislim da nema
that
svrhe
the army
da
attacked itself, and in
nastavim
the
da
indictment
ispitujem
they say that
ovog svedoka
Yugoslavia
o
attacked itself. I think
navodima
there
o
is
kojima
no
zna čitava
point
jugoslovenska javnost osim
in
njega,
examining this
a
witness any
pogotovo nema
longer
svrhe da
about
nastavim da ga
things that the
ispitujem s
entire
obzirom da je
Yugoslav
i
public
sam
knows
rekao da je
about, and he
službenik
says he knows nothing
ovog
about this. I
suda.
imagine it is
Zahvaljujući.
pointless for me to question him any further because he said himself that he is a staff member of this tribunal, so I have no further questions of him.
Mr. Topuskovich.
Hvala, časni sudije. Vrlo kratko.
Thank you, Your Honor. Very briefly.
Gospodine Sokoli,
Mr. Sokoli,
malopre ste izjavili
a few minutes ago you
u
said
jednom momentu
that at one moment
jedan policajac,
a policeman,
kako ste kazali,
as you had put it,
odvukao do kamiona.
dragged you to a truck.
Ovo što kaćan.
Yes, that's what happened.
Ali vi ste o tom događaju,
However,
ja moram
as regards this event, I have to caution you
govorili 14.
that you
juna.
spoke about this on the 14th of June to the investigators that you talked to on that day. That is to say, very soon after you had experienced what you had experienced. And then you said that this policeman helped you. You say he escorted me to the truck. I did not have the strength to board the truck, so this policeman helped me. Isn't that right?
Ovo što je sagt.
Yes, that's correct.
I samo još ovo, da li je tačno
Yes, and one more thing.
da ste tog
Is it
policajca
correct that
malo kasnije vidjeli
a bit
ponovo,
later you saw that policeman again?
pa ste čak rekli bio je
And
vrlo
you
plemenit
even
čovjek,
said he
delio je
was a
mališanima
very
čokolade,
kind man. He
govorio je
gave
ljudima da budu
children
strpljivi,
chocolate,
nije
and he was
nosio
telling
oružje,
people to be
imao je
patient.
torbu s
He did
oznakom
not
Crvenog
carry any
krsta.
weapons. He had a bag with a red cross on it.
Neki ljudi su ga pitali
Some
odakle
people
je,
asked him
i
where
on
he
je
was
odgovorio
from,
iz
and he
Beograda.
said from Belgrade.
Do me thonë këtë polic që e kam vrejtu në,
The policeman that I was observing, that I saw,
në hotel.
it was before the sixth policeman took me to the hotel,
Që s'ka qenë një armatosur.
and I noticed that he wasn't armed.
Shejt të kryqit të kuq.
He was carrying the sign of the Red Cross, and I saw him among the people, and I saw him giving things out to the children.
Albanskoj.
Albanian children?
Po, fëmijëve shqiptar.
Yes, Albanian children.
Thank you.
Mr. Sokoli, so we can understand the point. The evidence you've just given about the policeman helping you to the truck, this was after the incident in the hotel when you were beaten, is that right?
Po, është e saktë.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Oh, please. Mr. Sokoli, when you explained the reason why you left Kosovo to the prosecution, you told that it was because you were frightened, and that's because you had worked for OSCE, the verification mission, and because you were beaten by the policeman. In other cases, in case of other Albanians who had not worked for the verification mission or any other international institution, or who had not been beaten by the policeman, why did they leave? Could you explain this?
Mujt ta bëj një shpjegim s'disa do të jem kështu të qartë.
I will try to explain. I don't know how clear that will be.
Janarit vitit 1999,
in January 1999, I started to work for the OSCE, where they had a field office as the supervisor for the guards, and I had frequent contacts with the population who came to complain, to file their complaints about mistreatment from the police. There have also been cases of other incidents when the people were scared from the military, from the Yugoslav army troops. I don't know how to explain that.
Thank you.
Any re-examination?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Sakoli, that concludes your evidence. Thank you for coming to the International Tribunal to give it. You are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honours.
The next witness is Halit Barani. Summary has been distributed, but only recently. In the course of this witness's evidence, reference will be made to lists. To one of those lists, there may not have been provided yet English translation of part of the document that is not a list. That's being dealt with now, and I hope will not impede the progress of the evidence. Another list that the witness has brought with him himself. When we come to that, I'll seek leave to put that in.
Yes, Mr. Trubikovic.
Your Honours, I have a small objection. Until now, I have not put forth this objection. Although I would get these summaries on the very same day, just before the witnesses would come in, I would get them in English, and I actually read French. Until now, I did not object to this, because in the meantime, through my assistant, I would manage to familiarize myself with the summary. However, in my opinion, the witness who is due to come in just now is a very important, substantial witness, and indeed the statement contains 10 pages. I will be in a position to follow the witness's statement because I have interpretation into Serbian. However, this summary that is very important for all of us, we should all have it at the moment when the witness is being questioned. But I really believe that I should be getting these summaries on time in the French language, especially when we have such extensive material. As an amicus curiae, I will not be in a position to follow the proceedings properly, especially an examination of this nature. I think that the trial chamber should caution the prosecution in this regard, that they should allow the amici to receive information in a language that they know. Thank you very much.
Mr. Trubikovic, this practice of having these summaries is one which the trial chamber has developed. It is not a practice throughout the tribunal at all, and it's not in the rules. It's really for the convenience, of course, of the trial chamber to know what the witness is going to say specifically about this case. You should have the statements of the witness. I imagine you have those in front of you and they've been served on you. This is merely a summary. We will ask the prosecution to see what they can do in this regard, but there may not be very much because of the shortness of time required to prepare them. This is not a summary which is prepared in advance. It's prepared, as I understand it, when the witness gets to The Hague. But we'll see what we can do. Meanwhile, we'll have the evidence called.
Ja prihvatam vaše objašnjenje, međutim ti
I do
rezimei su u
accept your
velikoj meri
explanation.
razlikuju
However,
od onoga
these
što je sadržano
summaries
u iskazu. U velikoj meri
considerably
se razlikuju
differ,
od onoga što je sadržano
to
u
a
iskazima.
large
Ali
extent
ja
from what the
uvažavam ovo što
witness
ste mi
statements
kazali
contain.
i
But of course, I
bio
shall
sam dužan
abide
da
by
vas
what you
samo
have
sa tim
said,
upoznam.
but I just felt duty-bound to make you aware of this.
Very well. Yes.
Was that yes to the witness? I think it was yes.
Yes, let the witness take the declaration.
I solemnly declare that I will speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
If you'd like to take a seat.
Your name, Halit Barani.
Yes.
Are you a resident of Mitrovica in northern Kosovo?
Yes.
Married with 7 children?
Yes.
Are you currently the Mitrovica Regional Chairman of the Council for the Defense of Human Rights and Freedom?
Yes.
Were you educated in Mitrovica, thereafter attending Pristina University?
Yes.
Did you do compulsory military service between 1974 and 75 as a medical technician?
Yes.
When did you first become politically active?
In 1989.
For which political party?
With the Democratic League of Kosovo.
Did you serve as chairman of the sub-branch of that party in the Lerida neighborhood some years?
No, I was the chairman of a sub-branch for Mitrovica.
Well, until when?
Up until 1992.
To what post were you elected in 1992?
Member of the chairmanship of the Democratic League of Kosovo for Mitrovica.
Between 1989 and 1997, were you ever arrested by the police? If so, on how many occasions?
76 herë.
76 times.
What were these arrests said to relate to?
Arrestimet gjithëherë kanë qenë me pretekst
The arrests were on the pretext that I was an activist of the Democratic League of Kosovo and of the Defense Council for the Defense of Human Rights and Freedoms.
When arrested, what was the maximum period of time for which you were ever detained?
Maksimale ka qenë 24 orë.
The maximum was 24 hours.
Was your home ever searched or raided by police?
Ka bo shumë herë.
Many times.
For what stated reason?
Gjatë gjithë kontrollave në shtëpinë time kanë marrë dokumentacione të ndryshme dhe buletinat që botuan në Këshillin për mbrojtjen e të drejtave dhe ligjeve të njerëzit.
Council for the Defense of Human Rights and Freedoms.
Të cilët kanë evidencën e rasteve të dhunës dhe shumë herë emën e mbiemër të atij që ka ushtruar dhunë mbi popullatën shqiptare.
By name the people who used violence against the Albanian population.
During your detentions by the police, how were you treated? Were you questioned?
Më kanë marrë gjithëherë në pyetje.
They always interrogated me, and 7 times I was seriously physically mistreated.
During this general period, late 80s to late 90s, was the Office for the Council of the Defense of Human Rights and Freedom ever searched by police?
I'm sorry?
99.
No, not in the 80s, but in 1990 and 1991.
When searched, what was the reason given for the search?
Në këtë rast njëherë është kontrolluar zyra e Këshillit për mbrojtjen e drejtave dhe ligjeve të njerëzit në Mitrovic, po ashtu dhe zyrat e LDK-s, të cilat kanë qenë në të njëjtën ndërtesë,
as well as the LDK offices in the same building, and a video camera and a camera and many photographs and other documents belonging to the Council for the Defense of Human Rights were confiscated.
Were there demonstrations of a public kind during the period 89 to 90?
Yes, there were.
Did you see and or take part in those demonstrations?
Yes, I saw them.
Were any people injured or killed in the course of those demonstrations?
On 27th of March
1989, near the bus station in Mitrovica, 5 Albanians were killed and 24 were wounded, and many were arrested by the Serbian police.
Those who were killed, by whom or by what were they killed?
Ata u vranë nga
They were killed
policia
by
serbe
the Serbian
me
police
armë zjarre, kuptohet.
by gunfire.
I turn to the second page of the summary. There's one other document I didn't mention earlier. There's a document referred to in the second paragraph. If it's not available in translation, I would prefer to come back to later when it is available. In fact, I think it's available now. In 1991, what work were you doing?
Në vitin 91 isha
In 1991,
kryetar I Këshillit për
I was
mbrojtjen e të drejtave dhe lirive të
chairman for
njerëzit
the
në Mitrovica.
Council for the Defense of Human Rights and Freedoms in Mitrovica.
Yes. But before that, did you have other work, ordinary work, at some stage?
Kom qenë punëtor.
I was a worker.
What job?
Kom qenë shitës.
I was a sales assistant.
How did that work come to an end? Why did it end?
Në vitin 91,
In 1990-1991,
pushteti serb
the
I
Serbian
dëboi të
regime
gjithë shqiptarët
dismissed all the
me
Albanians
dhunë nga puna,
from their
të
jobs
cilët ishin
forcibly,
të shtyrë të nënshkruajnë
and they were forced to sign
vendim në të cilin
a statement
kërkoi që shqiptarët të deklarojnë se
in which
e
Albanians
njohin
had to
si
declare
republikë të
that
vetëm
they
Serbinë.
recognized Serbia as their republic.
Were you given an opportunity to sign such a form?
Jo.
No.
Well, then can you explain to us why it was you lost your job as a salesperson?
Për mos të ardhur deri te nënshkrimi I deklaratës,
In order not
unë
to
kështu punën
be
vetëm me
forced
dëshirë.
to sign the declaration, I left my job of my own free will.
Have you come to the tribunal with a copy of the declaration where people were being asked to sign at the time?
Po e kam një
Yes,
deklaratë të tillë e
I
cila
have
I was përdhuar
declaration of this
mjekëve në
kind,
spitalin
which
e
was
përgjithshëm të
offered
Mitrovicës ta
to the
nënshkruajnë
doctors of the
dhe
Mitrovica
mjeku
General
Adem
Hospital
Nura I cili
for them to
nikosisht ka
sign,
qenë edhe
and
antar
the
I
doctor
kryesisë
Adem
së Këshillit
Nurai,
për
who was
mbrojtjen e drejtave
also
dhe lirive
member
të
of the
njerëzit,
presidency of the
e ka
Council for
sjell
the
atë
Defense of
dokument
Human Rights
në
and
Këshill të
Freedoms,
panënshkruar.
brought this
Dhe
declaration to
e
the
kam këtu me
Council
vete.
unsigned, and I have it with me.
I seek to produce that as an exhibit. The original is here, but I've now got copies and English translations, draft translations as they are at present. And the original, which is I think on green paper, I'm not quite sure where it is at the moment, but is available for inspection if anybody wants to see it.